How can I live a focused life in this multimedia society as a multifaceted person with conflicting purposes? How can we join different aspects and talents within us, including the emotional and the analytical, into one clear purpose? So many of us feel fragmented. My head versus my heart. Reason versus emotion. And yet, the deeper we look into it, the deeper we realize that we really do know. Typically when we say, well, my head says one thing, but my heart says another, in almost every case what that really means is, I know the right thing to do, but I just don't want to do it. I know the right thing to do, but I've got such an urge to do something different. And so we create this sort of hypothetical, nice-sounding head versus heart debate, when really it's much more a matter of, I know the right thing, but I don't want to do it. Or, in the opposite case, where the heart is real, I know the right thing, but it's not the programming I've been given. My brain is full of programming. What my heart tells me is right to do is not in line with the programming of my brain. But in both cases, either way, we really do know what's right. It's just there's a part of us that isn't what we would call our true deep inner voice. That has to be a little bit more awakened and opened and kind of brought along on the process. In terms of multimedia society and multifaceted personalities and our analytical and all of that, there's no aspect of spirituality that isn't compatible with analytical thinking. Spirituality does not say, don't think analytically. There certainly are some aspects of religion that do, which is why religion is so difficult for people, because in so many cases we're really asked to just believe. But deep spirituality is not anti-analytical thinking. There's no reason to feel a divide within the self. What I would say to the analytical part of you is, ask yourself whether you are prepared to resign yourself to a life that says that only that which can be weighed on a scale, whose volume can be measured in a beaker, that can be seen through a microscope or a telescope, only that which can be tangibly held or seen or heard is real. Because that's a very, very narrow life. The first thing it eliminates is love. Long before it eliminates God, it eliminates love. So the minute that we talk about science and analysis compared to spirituality, we have to say, well, wait, do you believe in love? Can't see it, can't prove it exists, can't measure it, and yet we all know that it's kind of what keeps most of us going. Whether it's love for a specific being, a parent, a spouse, a child, whether it's love for humanity, whether it's love for the divine within yourself, love for God, doesn't matter. But no analysis would say, well, my analytic mind is in conflict with love. So if we're able to expand and include love, we have to be able to expand and include spirituality. And then the last piece is a multimedia society, which I would expand the question to say everything in the world, whether the person whose question it is happens to have a job or a life that's multimedia focused, but it pertains whether you're in business, whether you've got a profession, whatever. Technology, which we all use, is neither good nor bad in the same way that fire is neither good nor bad. So it cooks your food, so it burns down your house. A knife is neither good nor bad. So it turns a pumpkin into something that's edible, can be used as a murder weapon. When Oppenheimer figured out how to split the atom, this research wasn't done to wreak havoc on millions and billions of people. It was done for energy. Get things into the hands of the wrong people, they're going to wreak havoc. Get them in the hands of the right people, they're going to help us. Whether it's fire, a knife, or a split atom. And in the same way, technology. Take something like the question says multimedia, social media, whatever, connects us. How many of us are in touch with people through Facebook or email who, if we had to go back to writing letters and making phone calls, we'd never be in touch with? I mean, I can't even count the number of people from my life who I'm connected with only because we happen to be connected on Facebook. And every once in a while you see something or they see something or there's a note, you're connected. And yet, email is something that enables us to communicate with people across the world. We've got tens of thousands of people across the world who aren't able to get here and have Puja Swamiji's darshan or see the arati via technology. Wherever they are, they're able to connect. It's fantastic. And yet, it can suck our lives. It can turn us into the most self-focused, superficial people. We can start misunderstanding connection as a like on Facebook and forget what real connection is. It's a danger. But it's not the technology's fault. And so as spiritual people, whatever we're doing, we have to do it with awareness and mindfulness. I mean, this is the foundation of a spiritual life. The answer is not to refuse technology. The answer is, how can I bring mindfulness and awareness into everything so that I can use whatever the world is giving me to aid me in my mission. And there's now apps that you can use to help you meditate. And it's amazing, okay? And yet, there are apps that you could use to keep you from meditating. So it's all about where we are. And as long as we are focused and we are grounded, then there doesn't need to be, there shouldn't be this distinction between these different aspects of our lives. Ultimately, the goal of a spiritual practice is to unite all the aspects, not to keep them separate. So so that whatever we do it as spiritual people on a spiritual path.